Headlight YouTube. Today I've got about 4 things I'm going to do. Probably won't do all of them. It's not like I'm going to be that productive, but I started a bit later than expected. It's about 1:30 now, so let's see what we get done. So those that have seen the, I think it's my 3rd track day. I'm pretty sure I was mentioning about getting lots of power steering fluid up on the intake. I could only imagine, because there's like a breather, little breather in the top of the cap. So whether it's just from the motion of flying around corners, whether it's making power steering fluid come out there, or whether it builds up pressure, I'm not quite sure. I didn't think power steering was that pressurized. Could be wrong, more than likely. It's either that or the cap is leaking, but I've changed the cap and seal, so I'm inclined to think it's not that. That's what I thought I might do for the next track day to see if it stops it. Okay, so I've got this little bit of vacuum line, and I found this little nozzle. So what I'm going to probably try and do, it's not the tightest of fits, so I might try and make the hole slightly bigger so I can slide it all the way up to there, so like that. And then I'll probably run the other end. I've got a metal like drinking can thing, so I suppose it'd be like a catch can type thing. Whether it'll work or not, I've no idea, but it's worth a shot in it. I've got all the stuff. So that's one thing I was planning on doing. That should be pretty quick, just drilling a couple of holes in this. Probably one for the pipe to go in, and maybe like a breather one, and then some way of fastening this in place for the time being. The other thing, I walk around the back. For those who've got the SE BMWs, it's a bit tight in here. I think it's just the SEs anyway. They've got this grey plastic strip that runs across. I was thinking of spraying that silver. Don't know, making it look a lot better. Don't know why it's grey, it looks a bit crap. If I shimmy my way back out again. I wanted to take the beamers for a spin today as well, just to make sure there's no rattles or anything, because I haven't driven it on track since I've put it on maximum camber and maximum hardness on the dampers. So there's an episode on that. I'm not sure if I've done it yet, but there will be if there isn't one. Then a little bit of straight pipes. One of the tips is rattling, so I'm going to take that off, just wrap some of like the exhaust tape stuff around it just to stop it rattling, put the tip back on. Yeah, the other thing was I was going to try and have a go at cleaning up the headlights on the Mazda and the Astra. Probably do the Beamer at some point as well, but as it's parked I can't really get to it that easily. See how it goes with one of the other cars. See if it turns up alright. I've got some ultra fine sandpaper, so like 1500 through to about 2,500. I can't think what the units are. Whatever it is that they grade sandpaper on. So yeah, that was the plan for today. Let's go for the quick win, eh? It's all about the quick win. If I can still get something done. try that again while I'm actually recording rather than just talking to myself. Bell end. So there's the power steering fluid. It looks a bit of a murky colour, but when you put it on your finger it's pretty clear. So I'm going to replace it sometime soon, but I've got a track day in a week, or less than a week, so it'll have to be after that. So I'm just gonna, so I don't know whether it's overfilled, and that's why it keeps coming out of that breather hole in the cap. So I've just had a look at the cap. It's got a couple of marks on it. So whether you've got to be in between there to be at the right level. So you can see that breather hole there. So it comes up through this bit that goes into the fluid, and there's a little junction, little right angle at the top for it to go out. So I'm going to try and check the level, see if it is between those two markers. Yeah, it's definitely just at the, it's about 3/4 of the way up between the two marks. So if that's the way you check the level, then it's alright. So I don't know whether it's just the vigorous driving that is making it come out of the bleeder thing. Anyway, we'll try a catch can, see if it makes any difference, see if that is the reason. So let's see how big that hole is. Yeah, 4.9 mil. So this nozzle is so it's 4.9. It's quite jammy that it's actually the right size, but it must be slightly too small. So it goes in, but it also comes out quite easy. So this little nozzle came off. This is a syringe for bleeding disc brakes on a mountain bike. It's just I've got different brakes now, so yeah, luckily I just took the nozzle off. It was the right size, well, almost. So we'll see. I'm sure we can use this. The other end of this little nozzle is 3.5 mil. So I've got loads of selection of vacuum line. So I'm not sure, this is a 6.6 outside diameter, and then 2.9 inside diameter, so I suppose it's supposed to be a 3. That fits. Obviously you want your line to be a smaller hole than the nozzle, so it holds it tight. So that's a really good fit. Just got to figure out what to do with this end to make it stay in the cap. Just going to use this round file. Try and just make it a bit wider, just for the first millimetre or two. Quite handy that I've got this metal bottle or metal drinks can thing. So I've made 2 holes, one for the pipe to come in and just a one breather one. So I'm going to use that as the catch can. Okay, I never thought I'd ever need to do this, but See if it works. So you can see I've got the that little nozzle thing quite far in, and I'll just run it around behind the airbox into that little metal water bottle thing, and I've got the pipe going in, and I've just got to breathe the hole as well. I just cable tied it there for the time being to see whether it actually works. All depends whether the power steering fluid is actually coming out of that breather hole and spraying the engine. We'll find out the next track day. Hope you can see this. It's a bit tricky because the sun's kind of in the wrong place. So there's the one I haven't touched. Compared to the one I have touched. So this is actually day 2 now. I spent longer than I thought. I should have really researched the whole headlight cleaning thing, because I did like 1,500 grit sandpaper. Did that for about a quarter of an hour. Then went to the 2,000. Spent ages on that, and probably like an hour, because it looked absolutely terrible. It looked kind of just white. So I thought I'd buggered up the headlight, and I was gonna have to buy a new casing. But I looked online, which I should have done before, and I kind of missed the whole compound bit at the end, where people mostly get like a drill or like a polishing machine, get some like scratch removal cream on it and then buff it up. So that's what I've done. It's come out really clear. Whether it stays like that, I don't know. I'll have to have a look in a few days. But you better see from the pictures, well hopefully, how much different it looks. It wasn't that bad to start with really, it was just more of an experiment. Might be worth doing it on an older car like the Astra or the Beamer, so you get a bit more of a comparison. So that's done. So I'm going to try and spray that black strip on the back of the Beamer now. I think I've only got alloy spray. Oh no, I don't know. No, I think I've got some silver. I'll find out anyway. So this is what I've dug out of my little box of magic paint and glues and whatever. So I got some primer. About a third of a can should be enough. And some lacquer. Yeah, about a third again. If you've got the same colour as me, it's the titanium silver. So I'll put about half a can in there, tiny bit in there. Or how about a nice copper strip? That look good, wouldn't it? Maybe not. Let's stick with silver. So I'm gonna have to mask it up a bit. There's a couple of reflectors on there which are a pain in the ass, so I'll have to mask them up. But it's a track car, so I'm not going to be too precious about the job. much better does that look? Still got a bit of adhesive from the tape. I'll come out tomorrow and scrape that off. It's far from perfect, but it looks 10 times better. Quite pleased with that. Don't know why they originally had that crappy black strip on it. That looks loads better.